What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD,
Podcast.
Oh.
Period. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of OD Podcast. You know what's going on.
Niches get stitches. I'm just say that.
Oh, here you go. I'm having deja vu. So you in LA now?
Oh yeah, this the first episode that I'm recording from my apartment.
How you feel?
Just bored. Honestly, I don't have my car here. My car was supposed to be here yesterday, and it's not here still. So I really can't really do much without my car. I mean, I can get in an Uber, but I'm just really not trying to spend unnecessary money. So if I can't walk there, I'm just gonna stay in the house till my car come. And I also don't have a TV, so I'm bored.
So you better get your with the way your house set up. I have a projector in there, F for TV.
I'm thinking about getting a projector in my room, but I'm still trying to figure out how I'm about to set everything up because I'm gonna have to like get rid of some stuff, maybe, just because it's this apartment, the style of it, even though it's so much room in here, it's gonna force me to be a minimalist a little bit.
Yeah, but minimal is nice decor.
I need it. Honestly. Over the years, I've always been like a person that just like keep unnecessary shit. So it's time to be an adult and just get rid of stuff. And I think I got that from my mama. My mama just she kept everything. Like I remember when I was in like middle school, my mama had like records from when my sister was like, what, like 2 years old.
When you say records, you mean like documents?
Or no, like albums, like
vinyl.
Vinyls, yeah.
Hey, that's kind of cool though. I'm kind of the same way. I don't know why, but ever since I was little, I always cared about preserving stuff and taking care of it, like always. And so I actually have a scrapbook that I had started working on since I was very young. And bro, I got martyr cards in there, like tokens. I got all kinds of stuff. I got the darn pen from the last time we won the World Series. I mean, it is just stuff that I was like 19 years old thinking about. Like I was in my mind, I was like, this is gonna be important one day, and I still got it. That's so crazy.
That is important. Just still got martyr tokens and martyr cards.
But the thing is, like, I don't want it. Like, what I'm supposed to just sit on it? Like, okay, like when you think about being minimal, in my mind is like, okay, what are some things that you just like? If you like, for example, that stuff could disappear right now, and it wouldn't have a real impact on my life except for the attachment of knowing I have something that's that old. But in reality, I don't want it, but I also don't want to get rid of it because it's kind of cool. It's like, you know, the change in technology or history, but it's taking up space. And like, I have them all in bins, but like those bins don't have to be there.
Nah, I feel
what I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to pay for no storage unit for stuff like that.
I'm telling you, this stuff is forcing me to be a minimalist. Even in my kitchen, I normally have like a mail drawer where I just throw my mail in there. It's no kitchen drawers in here.
It's not. It's just cabinets.
Not one. It's just cabinets. So I bought like this little 3 thing, where I'm gonna keep my utensils in. But I'm gonna just have to like really figure it out because I ain't never lived like this before. So it's new. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting adjusted to it.
How you like the neighborhood? You feel safe?
The neighborhood is cool. I'm gonna tell you what I don't like. So what I do like is the convenience of everything. I love the space. I love how the apartment looks. I love how it smells because that's a big thing for me. Like I don't know if y'all know what roaches smell like, but that's the first thing I smell. Like I sniff. I have to sniff the apartment. Yeah. One thing that I don't like is the walls are very thin. Mm-hmm. Now, when I first moved in here, I don't know if it's because in my old apartment, it was so much sunlight in my room, but I couldn't really sleep hard in there unless I was like on the edible or something, or some, what's the stuff called?
Melatonin.
Melatonin. So here, I literally sleep so hard when I go to sleep, and I love that, but I'm starting to notice that like the walls are really thin. Like I hear my neighbor's dog. It sounds like they be barking in my living room.
Oh, I don't like that.
And then the dog upstairs, I hear the nails. So when I first heard it, I thought it was rats in the ceiling.
Oh, well, you know, I actually wondered a lot about my downstairs neighbor because so I'm on the top floor, and I remember before I got her, I talked to them. I'm like, hey, just so y'all know, I'm about to get a puppy. So she may be crying because I never was upstairs ever until I moved here. So I used to, once you live under somebody, like you'd be like, all right, next time I move, bro. I think my worst experience was when I lived in California. It was terrible. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just hate that stumping and bumping and everybody not so considerate and people might not be trying to make noise, but it's annoying to the person below you. So anyway, I always been super cautious about that. I be make sure I don't drag stuff across the floor, just all that stuff. But she tell me she don't ever hear nothing. I don't know if they just saying that to be kind or it's just not that big of a
Some
deal.
people, because I think for me, like I'm the type of person. That's why I like living downtown because it's very loud. Like
Yeah,
I hear police sirens all day,
I don't
horns,
want to hear
people yelling,
nothing.
and that stuff don't bother me. Like it's like I tune it out.
Yeah,
Like naturally, I don't even have to force it. Um, that's another thing too. Since I do live downtown, it's very loud, but I'll tune that out. And then me walking the street, people I know if people not used to that or they don't like the city life, I guess that'll bother them because there's so
yeah.
many people, so many homeless people down here. But I just
Mm-mm.
walk with my AirPods on. I keep it on the little spatial sound so I can still
Yeah.
hear, but I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I love
See, I don't
walking.
like that. Even though I grew up in the city, I never liked the chaos. That I like peace and quiet, and that's why I
Yeah.
like where I live because it's still close enough to not be, But yeah, I've always been concerned about that. But I can't imagine you hearing a dog bark and it sounds like it's your living room. Maybe as
Yeah,
you get it more
and both
populated
all
with,
my neighbors have dogs. So dogs out here, you don't have to pay an extra fee to have one.
yeah, it's like a part of the California culture, and you need a bike too.
I
But
said that today when I had walked to Whole Foods. I'm like, dang, I should get a bike.
yeah, you should. That'll be cool. Do they have those
Yeah.
scooters out there?
Yes. Oh my God.
You like them
So
though?
last night, I invited one of my friends who live here. He's from here, but he lived in Atlanta for like 8 years, and then he
Yeah.
moved back home. But we was walking down the sidewalk. It was a lady literally carrying a bike on one of them scooters. I'm like, which one? Which one are you doing?
Maybe she had a flat. Maybe her legs
I,
hurt.
it was crazy.
I don't have no excuse for her.
Another thing too that bothers me out here is the drugs. So we were walking to the little bodega by my house, and
Girl, not bodega. Okay.
no, it's bodegas out here. It's a city.
Okay, go ahead. Corner store.
Um, huh?
Corner
It's a
store.
it says bodega on the outside,
Oh,
so it's a bodega.
okay. Let me mind mine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People get mad when you move to a new city. Um, this man was literally sitting on the sidewalk, like doing open, and he was like stabbing a needle in his arm, like
Oh my.
in his vein right there.
Uh.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you don't shoot insulin right there. You do it in your leg or your stomach, like
Now
with a
you
fat.
know he ain't taking no darn insulin.
I was just trying to be open minded, but I was like, whoa,
Don't be
whoa there.
misled. Oh,
Yeah,
that's crazy. That takes some adjustment. See, that made me think about even though this turned out to be false, but when that police officer said somebody was injected with a needle at Astroworld.
yeah. Oh, swear to God. When I saw that, I promise you it was the first thing I thought about, and I started running because I was like, what if the drugs, like he took too much and he started having like a manic episode and he just started stabbing
Oh my
people.
God. Oh my
I
God.
was like, oh,
See,
let
that's
me go.
why I like living in the suburbs. No thanks. Anyway, okay. Well, let's get
I
into
like
the
the
episode.
thrill.
Okay.
I was playing.
Go
I'm just playing.
ahead.
I'm playing. I'm gonna go get me a little weapon or two because
A little weapon or two.
I'm gonna need it. I do leave it when I leave the house. I carry a bag with me every time. This is like a bag city. You gotta
Yeah.
leave the house with a bag, like bottle of water. You don't know if you can go grocery shopping, and you need to take some stuff home. And bags ain't free out here, so
Yeah.
get your little bags. But
Plastic bags are not used, and so people
I'm
have
gonna
to
give me
pay
some
for that.
daggone pepper spray, a little pocket knife, hopefully a little gun. Once I find out the gun laws, something. I need it all just to be safe. I'm not
Yeah.
nervous, and that's another. I feel really safe out here. I don't know
That's
why.
good
I really
because
do.
you're
I don't know.
green.
That's probably
But
what it is.
California's, I mean, we from the South. I feel like most places are probably a lot more relaxed than it is out here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? The culture in California is like they could break off from the union and be their own country.
yeah.
So I get it.
It's very chill. I feel really safe. I think that's another reason why I sleep so hard.
Yeah, you ain't gotta ain't nobody passing no notes under your front door talking about give me all your money.
or you ain't got to worry about waking up and going to your car and somebody
The
done broke to
windows
your car.
busted out. Oh Jesus! I think
It's a
about it
lot.
every time I go anywhere, and I try to park far in the back so don't nobody hit my car with they dough. And it's like you just can't win, Jesus. But all right, not to drag it on. Sorry, y'all. Let's get into this episode. Let's get to Black Business of the Week. So, I have for the last several years, I have been letting my cousin do my hair. She is a cosmetologist. She went to school for it, but she does not do it as a profession. But because she knows how to do hair, I go to her. She do my press, my trim, da da da. But she lives very far. Like I drive an hour one way to get to her to do my hair, and on top of that, her schedule, she works a full time job. So I was like, all right, man. For years I've been driving this hour. I'm tired of it, and it also I have my dog who I try not to leave at home alone too much because she still is a puppy. She's not even one. And so I'm like, I really can't come to her house at certain hours because I gotta walk her, gotta feed her, yada yada yada. So anyway, I was like, you know what? It's getting cold outside. I'm going to start back getting my hair straightened out because during those 5 months that I was in California, I only wore natural styles, and that 5 months reverted my hair back from like basically I used to be able to get a silk press and it lasts 2 weeks, no issue. I never had frizz, I never got poofiness. That was my whole life up until when I was in California. Literally after that, my press styles wouldn't even last 24 hours. I would literally get my hair done, get in the car, and it'd be already a fro. It's crazy. So I just, was like, I'm not gonna keep wasting my money. I'm just gonna just wear natural style. So over the years, I mean, my hair would get straightened, but I would probably straighten it to wearing a ponytail and stuff like that. So anyhow, one of my college friends, Joanna, she always her hair always looked good, but she posted her hairstylist recently, and I checked out her page and I liked her. And on top of that, she was not super far from me. So I'm like, oh baby, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make the Black Business of the Week be Bree Marie. Her Instagram is Lux Bree Marie, spelled LuxBreemarie. I will put the information in the episode notes. But one thing about her, what I really, really like is anybody who's listening who's had to get a barber, a hairstylist, anybody that offers any kind of cosmetic service knows that number one, it's hard to find a good person, a professional person, and somebody that's quick and it's just about their business. Like a lot of times, hairstylists say they triple book, double book. You go in there, it's 13 people that's got a 9 o'clock appointment, and you might be getting washed, then she getting washed, but you at the sink for 20 more minutes because they got to get to the other folks. So it's just a really unpleasant experience. So at the very least, I always expect to spend at least 3 hours at the hair salon, and that's at the very least. And honestly, them 3 hours is really how long I spend in my cousin's house, not even at a salon. If we really want to be honest, it's really like an all day occasion. And so when I book with this with Bree, I was like, let me just get her first appointment of the day so I can get a good parking spot, so I ain't got to be waiting, so I can do da. Anyways, man, when I tell y'all I was in and out in an hour and a half, and I had a
What?
silk press, bro, what? And so if you look at the reviews on her style C page, everybody says the same thing. She doesn't double book. She's really quick. She's really efficient. I got my hair done Saturday. It's Wednesday. My hair is still straight. And
Oh
that is
wow.
very unusual. I'm telling you, I got flexorizer in now because some of my curls fell, but I ain't had my hair still look and feel good. So I just really want to shout her out. She was very friendly, efficient. Her service was very clear. She washed your hair, and I had an appointment at 8 o'clock and was out of there by 9:30.
Wow.
And she trimmed my hair. Like she did a wash, blow dry. I sat under the dryer 2 times, had a trim, and she silk pressed and curled my hair. And I was in that. That's how it was supposed to. I have never in all my 32 years of living ever spent less than 3 hours at a hair salon. Ever, ever. Especially for no silk press, because my hair is very thick.
Yeah.
And people always be like, oh, well, your hair thick is gonna take a little bit. Let me tell you something, baby. Bree Marie gonna get you straight. And that's on me. You did what I'm saying? Prices was
That's
realistic. It
fine.
was
I like
just
that.
let me
That's
say,
how I've always been about booking my stuff too.
listen, I mean, and the fact that she wasn't, I really felt good that she wasn't double book, and she's so quick. She don't even got a double book. She could just, if I know, like I'm telling you, I ain't have no problem. She was on time. She communicated. Everything was A1. I didn't have no questions. Period. So I just want to shout her out. I'm definitely gonna make her my primary hairstylist. And like I said, she's off of Bolton Road. There's a salon suite off of I think it's Austell Road.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like a 2-level one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's a nice little location or whatever. And I had a while back, I shouted out Sky did it as a braider for Black Business of the Week. She actually used to work in that same suite, and they know each other, which is crazy because I swear by Sky as well, because she's the same way. She don't double book. She's super quick. She's really professional. So I've been seeing a lot of TikToks about how makeup and hairstylists are very unprofessional in Atlanta, which I cannot deny. But I'm telling y'all, Bree Marie, great experience, 10 out of 10. And it was people who follow me who saw me tag her, and they was like, oh my God, I love her, or I used to go to her before I moved. But I'm telling y'all, like, no game. So, I'm gonna keep going to her. I'm probably gonna try to get my hair straightened at least once a month and just keep a routine. Maybe twice. So I can do twice a month, but I'm not really going nowhere. So I'm not trying to be going extra hard for my hair to be in a bunnet. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about. Next we're gonna get into hits from the streets. Might as well be tweets from the streets. So okay. Literally today, several hours ago, Dolph was killed, y'all. So rest in peace to Dolph. Very, 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 very unfortunate. Very, very, very tragic. Okay. Um, the reason why I'm making this tweets from the streets because y'all know people get really weird when somebody passes away. They start scraping up all the pictures and screenshots, DMs, text messages, and stuff like that they can share. It's like, dang, did you even grieve? The first thing you wanted was some likes and retweets. So anyway, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Asian, the clout chaser dog, made a tweet talking about, and I think the reason why it was so annoying is because it was her, because I feel like she makes a lot of situations be about her, or she just always just do too much on social media. That's just my opinion. But anyway, she made a tweet that said something like, dang, Dolph just asked me to go on tour, and I had said, yeah, rest in peace. Girl, you could have just said rest in peace. I just felt like it was really weird, and people was dragging her in the comments per usual. And then they pulled up old tweets when she had said Dolph was trash.
I saw that too.
Like, Jesus.
I hate that when people die, or especially like famous people or really popular people, and they have like some story that they have to share. And sometimes it don't even be that deep, because at this point we've all came across, especially if we all lived in the same city forever, we've all came across some of the same people all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really. I won't try to take that away from people, because sometimes people do get really excited by meeting certain people.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, girl, we've all met this person. The way that you met him, it wasn't that serious, or the way that you met it wasn't that deep for you to be having like a whole, because I was looking at Don't Call Me White Girl, and she was like, yeah, I made you a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit at my job. Rest in peace, man. You was so cool. And
she put it about Dolph.
No, she was just saying how people do when.
Oh no, for real. This one girl posted DMs, but he wasn't even replying to her.
Yes, he wasn't, and it was like, and she just was. Oh God, I hate that.
It's so embarrassing. And I just really hate that. And people don't even like, she went on live and was talking about, that's my friend. Y'all don't even understand. I know his baby mama. Girl, it just was, it's like a such thing as tact. You know what I'm saying? And there's a time and place for everything. But it was just extremely unnecessary. Like, I do understand people having sentimental stories and good memories and stuff like that. But it's gotten to the point where people just want to be the first to say something, share something. And it's just like, someone is deceased. Someone is never coming back. Yeah. And you want to share a screenshot of you sending him smiley faces? It just is really weird. I'm sorry.
I'm currently getting attacked in my DM because I posted that thing about sharing your location with your friend could be a gift or a curse, and I said you're the only person I could share my location with because everybody else psycho and I'm getting attacked. Ooh. Somebody just told me that I have a false sense of being a doll. Wow.
Oh Lord. See, what? I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I literally just checked today and it still say you ain't sharing your location. So anyway, whatever, it don't matter. I don't care. But I think that's I
don't know why it says that. I'm gonna go check that out.
I really never checked. I think I only checked Bryce's location one time because he was meeting me somewhere. And then I just started sharing with my sister a couple weeks ago because he was like, dang, why you not sharing? But anyway, so let's move on from that. No, seriously, rest in peace to Dolph. It's really sad to see people so young getting gunned down or passing away in any manner. And, he obviously had a huge impact. And then on top of that, people started coming up with these fake stories about Black youngster grandma getting shot and Yo Gotti restaurant getting shot. It's like, why in the world do you feel like that's necessary? Why are you being weird? Because that's how stuff, and that's why, like we've said before, a lot of these beefs between celebrities be coming from fans. Now, obviously, they got real street beef, but if somebody actually died, why would you make up a lie about their op being harmed or their loved ones being harmed? You got these police is proactively outside Gotti restaurant and people putting a curfew on the city. It's just so unnecessary. It's really sad, honestly.
Yeah, I actually saw that. I didn't know how true it was because I even saw a blog go as far as to like post police cars in front of
Gotti's restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. But
Yeah, it's really sad. People are sick and weird. And when it comes to death, it's even weirder. Like, I'm sorry, yeah. Y'all stop being weird. For real. Rest in peace, Dolph. It's really sad.
yeah.
But yeah. So
That's crazy. I wonder what the motive was.
retweets.
Probably not mine. Not
Retweets. And half the time it be these accounts with these darn Goku profile pictures.
that's
Strange.
annoying. That is so crazy. It's just, but I heard about Memphis. Memphis is like, I think between Memphis and Alabama, those two states, they have they hoods are like ruthless. And New Orleans or
Yeah,
Louisiana rather.
well, Memphis ain't too far. I mean, that is where they killed Martin Luther King.
Yeah, like it's
And the
crazy.
Klan organized. They started off over there. Now, not I don't think it was in the city of Memphis. It was a city outside of it.
I do think it's crazy that they took away. I mean, they have that law where you don't have to have a license to carry out there, and I think
I'm
that's
not shocked. It's the South.
yeah. That's why I had to get up out
People
of there.
listen. It's several people without license with guns, whether it's the law or not. Truth be told.
Yeah, no, that is true.
But all right, let's get into shop talk. So first things first, there's a few things that have happened while we were out. I guess the first thing is the Travis Scott situation at Astroworld. And I feel
Yeah.
like it was necessary to talk about because we went to a Travis Scott set before at Music Midtown, and I remember when I remember I don't know if it was on Netflix, but he had that documentary and they talked about like his crowds and how he kind
Yeah.
of incites riots. He's got banned from venues, et cetera, et cetera. And I remember seeing how lit it was
From
at
that
the end.
same festival, that's the gag.
Oh, really?
So on the documentary, they were at Astroworld. I'm not sure if it was the first one because this is new for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he just started that. He's just started having his own festival a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, I'm like, that doesn't excuse it, but it's like that's a new festival and it's his. He don't really know what he's doing,
Yeah.
clearly. And I think it's just irresponsible. You know your fans, and you
Right, and
know that.
he literally does incite these. I mean, it's not that's not a secret. And yeah, you do know your fans, but you know it's easy to hide behind the event management company and all the other stuff. Now I don't think he's the blame. So basically, if anybody's under a rock, there recently at Astro World, several people were killed from crowds trampling over them, compressing. Like Travis Scott shows are really lit. Oh, this is what I was saying when I saw the documentary. Now, mind you, I never really knew much about Travis Scott. I didn't even know he was this huge. Maybe because I'm an old lady, but I only know a couple of songs by him, so I don't know anything about him before like 2019, 2018. But I remember being like, man, it looks so lit. Like I want to experience that. And I remember we went to Music Midtown and it was lit, but it was way different. I mean, number one, we were outside the crowd. We were like on the side of it, and people were like mosh pitting, but it was like a selected area. It wasn't like
That's how it always is, or that's how it normally is. Like,
normally it is, right. And there were people that broke into the festival, but that's not even news. That
but
happens all
even
the
when we
time.
were there, they broke into.
That's what
Remember?
I'm saying. It happens at festivals all the time. But I do kind of wonder, because there's like 125 lawsuits being pressed against him, and I am curious to know if he will be held responsible because of his history with quote unquote inciting riots at his shows. Because obviously there's a nature with his type of performances, and you know how fans get. Once you give them an inch, they're gonna take them out. It's just how it is. It's the you created a culture around your shows, but it's
Yeah,
actually really sad. I hate that people have passed away, especially young kids. I
yeah.
don't know nothing about Astroworld, but I am curious to know if that's really a child-friendly environment. This is not
No.
put blame on the parents, but it just seems like a very mature, a lot going on type of place.
Now I could be wrong, but this new culture of rappers, a lot of them are going the rock star route.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I know, I feel like Travis Scott is the one who started that, or like brought that into like the rap game. Besides Lil Wayne, because I do feel like Lil Wayne did. At one point, he was like a rock star, identifying as
At
a rock
one
star, but
point,
he didn't like do that riot stuff, But I know with Travis Scott, he was definitely one of the first people to um bring that to the rap game. And then
yeah.
on top of that, he did get way, way, way more popular because of Kylie. Like he started dating Kylie. So a lot of her fans are now his fans, and it's like a collective. So the crowd just gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year. But a lot of artists do that. Rico Nasty, uh Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi, all those type of
Yeah, I
acts.
definitely know Lil Uzi for being for like crowd surfing, but I mean,
Yeah,
and it
like
is that type of music. It's definitely that like rocky.
I call it emo rap because that's
Emo
what it
rap.
is. It's
Yeah,
like
he said all his
emo.
friends was dead.
Yeah, see, it's emo rap. So that's definitely not nothing that's not new. Because like I said, when we went, because I tell people, I'm like, I experienced it and it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't like uncomfortable. We had a good time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do feel like a part of it was a lot of those people that broke in, because even though people broke into the one we went to, it was not like that. Like those
Yeah,
people.
nowhere near. And I mean those, yeah, you're right. But and Astro was obviously way bigger than Music Midtown. And I'm pretty sure those people who broke in probably broke in for
No, that's the thing. It's not.
oh, it's not. Even with all
No,
the didn't they have, well, the setup of it appears to be. I guess that's what made me
the
think
setup
that.
of it was, but Music Midtown definitely is a bigger festival. I mean, I feel like
Bigger
um
in capacity or more popular?
is is more popular. Are you
Oh, I
saying like
mean like crowd wise, like numbers wise.
oh, okay, yeah, they couldn't control them numbers on them people broke in. So
Yeah.
half for
And I don't
you know.
really think there's a whole lot people can do to control people from breaking
Yeah, because
into
even with
festivals.
me, I'm like, honestly, what exactly could you have done?
Yeah, because you can have it indoors, but now it's not a festival, it's just a concert. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so
I wonder what they're
yeah.
gonna do this going forward, because I mean it's so many festivals planned, but they just had Day and Night Festival in Vegas this past weekend, and it looked safe, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think people are also kind of on edge a little bit too after what happened, because I'm seeing all these clips from artists like checking on folks in the audience. And I mean, that's good that they do that, but it's a shame. But all right. So do you have anything you want to add to Shop Talk?
I sure do. I'm gonna add the obvious. Miss Dani Leigh and the baby was TT.
Mm,
Um,
I can't
so
wait to
let
give
me.
my problematic opinion.
You said you can't wait to give your problematic opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's the thing with situations like that. Um, dummies. I
Yeah.
hate that this culture, this new wave of this new generation, what is going on is they looking at the dollar amount behind people. They're looking at the publicity behind people, so they're willing to go through these things with people just because they're famous and they have money, because they feel like that's their way of coming up, and they were like, "Oh, I don't have to work anymore."
You think that's what
But
happened with her?
I feel like that's what happened because, well, partially, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's what happened because, for one, sometimes people just be not there mentally, and I do think that's part of it too, because there's no way that you can allow somebody to treat you like that and just still be with him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that it's just, you can tell that he's a very abusive person. Now I don't want to put that he puts his hands on
Yeah,
girls
but
or
verbal
women,
abuse is abuse.
but verbal abuse, and the way that he just says things, and the fact that he was mad because she bought Plan B was really weird for me, because it's like, how can you control her body? She just had a baby, so you don't even know what she felt like. She probably, in my head, I'm like, she probably didn't even want to have that child because she's in the middle of her career. And I did a little research on her too. I didn't even know that she's like, she was like the protege of Prince. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That
Mm-hmm.
makes it even worse, because it's like, not you this dumb and you had pretty much a career handed to you. That's another reason that's another part of the reason. And I hate that being from the hood, we kind of used to shit like this. So it's not necessarily second nature, but his baby mama, she probably laughing because she like
Honey, she drank the dummy juice too, but
she did. But she not all out in public
she
giving
have
his.
less embarrassment because she was grandfathered in. But
But
yeah, so y'all know I've been on my anti the baby train for a long time. I used to really rock with the baby, man, but it was too many. It was the random assaults for me. I'm like, all right, I can't even like. It was to the point where I'm like, okay, like if this was somebody homeboy that I knew, I wouldn't even want them around me. Like I'm pretty sure it's episodes. I don't know the episode number. I used to really praise him. I thought he was super talented. You can actually search my Twitter name and search the baby, and you can see the timeline of the rise and fall of my support for the baby. Like it's historical. But anyways, yes. So he's always been a clown to me for a long time. Not always, obviously, but he's a clown. He's very disrespectful. He's very arrogant. And
yeah.
to me, common sense would tell me that is not somebody you want to have a baby with. That is not somebody you want to attach yourself to for a long time. Maybe I can kick it, mess around, whatever the case is. But Dani Leigh clearly had different expectations. So number one, I always judge women who are done for men. And I can just off of looking at those pictures that she posted on her story, like she really was in deep. In deep. Look at she don't find her little gangster boo and she finna just ride with him. But I just feel like her approach and her decision making was all bad. Number one, you out the gate sending shots to his baby mama. Number one, you can't ever think that somebody finna treat you better than they treated the last girl. You are not that girl. I just came back from the dead and found out you not that. You still not that girl. What Roland Ray said. Anyway, then she came out with this Yellow Bone song, like she just hot doo doo. I genuinely feel like she thought that
Oh, I
she was,
forgot about that. You know, I'll be forgetting about stuff.
honey. Well, Twitter brought it back real quick, but I genuinely feel like from the outside looking in that she thought that she was the chosen one for the baby. I really do. It just seemed that way because in my mind, common sense would have never told me that this is a man that's going to treat you right. Anyways, the way he handled everything to me was extremely disrespectful. Now, I will say I'm not too much against him going live with her because I do feel like if he did not, like he could have recorded a video, but if it wasn't live, nobody could really vouch for what was going on. Because I feel like I don't know how she is or how he is on when it comes to physical abuse, but one of them could have said like, "Oh, he hit me. Now he going to jail." Now, granted, she did get charged with simple battery, but I'm just saying I don't have a problem with that. It's the way that he was talking to her and the way that gone, like you said, she went and got a plan B. I would do the same thing. I'll probably plan B like it's a skittle. You put something up in me, I ain't asked for. Now, why she not on birth control? That's beyond me. But it's really crazy. It's really embarrassing. I think the biggest thing for me, what annoyed me is how he pulled the you wasn't my girl, because dudes love to say that stupid John. Now, regardless of whatever
Yeah.
role y'all play with each other, do not act like you wasn't with this girl for real. It just is a mess, y'all. I
Right.
can't even verbalize it appropriately, but I'm judging her and I'm definitely judging him. And the red flags was there. It was never not there. At no point was the baby ever a guy that people felt like, oh, she's so lucky. Nobody felt that way ever. And I really hope that she didn't delay her career progress for this dude, which it sounds like she did. And if she didn't have nothing, like I seen somebody on, I think it was on The View, they were saying like, this is why women, you got to have stuff of your own, because it didn't seem like she had many resources for herself, which is why she never left his house. Don't ever be in a position where somebody can kick you out their house, okay? I don't give a darn if you got
Yeah.
a tiny home in the driveway, sweetie. If it's yours, it's yours. It's just really sad, y'all. The more of the story, get an abortion, take a plan B. Do not have these dudes babies. Break up with them and leave them in the dust, because now you ain't got to deal with them no more. But now she got to stick with this man for the rest of her life, the rest of the child's life. And now she's going to be, sharing him with the other baby mamas. And he going to keep messing with the original baby mama or whatever. He going to keep having his way in whatever way he chooses. But it's like you really permanently attach yourself to this man.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real nasty. I'm sorry. I'm not with it.
Mm.
It's just I'm definitely judging her. I'm sorry. You really played yourself, embarrassed yourself, and you settled for less. To me, I always feel like people who put up with that kind of behavior have low self-esteem. I do. And I don't think that I do get airhead vibes from her. I think she was just happy to have somebody around her. And I could be wrong, but it definitely made me feel the way. You gotta love yourself. I'm sorry. I knew as soon as I hit puberty, I'm like, I ain't have no baby. What's the options? Okay, I can pop a pill within 72 hours. I can get on birth control. Let me get that birth control. Not having
Yeah,
nobody's baby.
everybody want to raise the same. Unfortunately, we
Bro, you either want a baby or you don't. Like,
that's true too. But you know what? Manipulation, because you don't know what that man could have
you
told her.
absolutely right. But that's why you can't have low self-esteem, because you gotta believe in yourself or love yourself enough to know what's best for you. Because you couldn't have thought that this is not the first time this man on talk to her crazy. Ain't
Oh,
no way. Ain't no way. And so all I'm saying is you got to love and care about yourself enough to know that that's not what's good for you. Because none of this is surprising. It's just more public now. Because if it was never public and he kicked you out, you probably would have been right back. And
yeah.
now what?
Mm.
Not here for it. I'm sorry. I hate when girls be done for men. I even hate it when you not black, you say the N word. Racist.
All right. Well,
Next caller. All
enjoy.
right. So next on the list we got Britney Spears is free from her conservatorship. Thank God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I can't even believe that it
Now this
lasted
one of
that
them
long.
fan bases that really do some good. Because
Yeah.
the folks ain't never gave up. Jesus Christ. But I'm actually really happy for her. But I need people to keep in mind that she had no free will for 13 years. So she may come off as weird or odd or strange. But imagine being a prisoner in your own life fully capable of functioning and not being able to, you'll start acting funny too. So,
Yeah.
the girl obviously is
That's
capable.
the
She was still
thing.
making music, still performing. So she ain't crazy. She just needs some readjustment to do.
Yeah. Hopefully she gets the much needed help. And I really hope that the men that are inserting themselves in her life aren't using her, because I feel like that could very well be a case where they using her
I
just
thought about that when I saw she was in a relationship because I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't understand how somebody could pursue a serious relationship with somebody in a conservatorship, being that she couldn't have access to her money, she couldn't drive a car. But it's also like, did that guy know that she was gonna end up being free? You know what I'm saying? He obviously can't use her for her
yeah.
money.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I did think about that because he seems like well put together, very attractive, and all the other stuff. And then Brittany just seemed kind of like a mess a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope she doesn't get used either. But I know she's a smart girl. I just hope that she gets to, reap the benefits of her efforts. I mean, really, that's all you can hope for.
You sound so sad about it.
You know what? Because I can't believe it actually happened. I can't believe she was actually released from the conservatorship. And I always just think about how much money they were making off of her.
Yeah.
And Britney Spears was the biggest. I mean, literally the biggest. I mean,
She's the standard for pop stars. Like
no, for real. People used to
literally,
compare their kids to her. Like, oh, she's the next Britney Spears. Girl,
now you know.
now god darn well. All right. So next thing up, I also want to send prayers up to Keyshia Cole. She has now lost her mother and her father in the same year, really in the same few months. Her
Her
mother,
dad just passed.
yes, of COVID-19.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
this was yesterday. Yeah.
See, I don't follow Keisha, so I didn't know.
Well, I saw her on the shade room.
Mm.
Yeah, it's actually really sad. It's traumatizing. I also Rita, our friend Rita, she made a tweet today saying that being a fan of rap is traumatizing. Low key, it is. Like we see a lot of death and we get attached to these people and then we lose them. And then it's just like a reoccurring cycle. And that should not be normal.
Yeah, rap is becoming traumatizing because it's like, for one, unfortunately, we have a lot of people doing stuff in the rap community that is just unethical. For one,
Mm-hmm.
and then we losing people left and right, because I mean, it's a lot of these rappers, and I think that's where it comes in, where like we the white rappers and stuff. It's not that you're not allowed to do this. It's just that the way you come in about it. It's like Eminem. We know he grew up in the hood, so he has the right to say certain things or do. I'm not an N word, but he has the right to.
He grew up poor.
Yeah, he did. Him and Paul Wall. You know what I'm
Hood
saying?
and
Like them
poor ain't
type
the
of
same
people.
thing in my eyes.
But other than that, I think that people be trying to make it seem like black people be trying to gatekeep rap, and it's like we have that right to do that. I mean, for one, because of the culture of rap, and it's like you can't mimic our culture that you didn't go through. Like, girl, you grew up, and then even just white people. I do that to the Migos because I'm like, I ain't saying that y'all didn't experience certain things, but in my head, when I think of South Gwinnett or Athens and all these other people, I visited those places and
Yeah.
beautiful homes.
You know what's so funny? I agree with
Beautiful.
you. And I also do acknowledge that it's all relative. Like to me or to you as well, people that grew up in the hood grew up in the trenches. I mean, literally had nothing. But
Yeah.
even in some of the nicer areas, there are people who didn't have stuff that was as nice and they still feel that they grew up like impoverished. And it's like, you had a
I
car?
don't want to take away from that
No,
because
no,
that's.
me either. But I'm just saying
But if
it's
I'm like you have passed out
I
had
just
you.
feel like it's one thing to be hard and it's one thing to feel like you struggle and you didn't get to experience certain things.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
Very.
I don't want to say that I don't really get into white rappers. I do kind of like what's the dude name? Jack Harlow.
Jack Hart. Oh yeah. Remember we saw him at Revolt Summit? I just looked at that video yesterday.
See, I ain't know him then.
I
Wow.
remember because he was DJ Drama's artist.
Oh, DJ Drama beat. Let me tell you. I mess with DJ Drama. First of all, we share barbers,
I
but
think he's an abuser, but go ahead.
he is. See what I'm saying? Rap,
He
being a fan of
I
rap
remember like
is
last year he went on a
traumatizing.
vacation with his girlfriend and then she reported all these images of her face being busted up. And she ain't do it to
Alicia,
herself.
I've been in their home.
Mm. Hide your face, child.
I had to
Between
do
y'all folks in
his.
there.
I think I had to do his wife and his daughter's makeup before, but I drove fast.
Allegedly. Let's just say allegedly, but I remember seeing it and
Wow.
I never forget. And I can't forget stuff like that. That's why I don't like the baby. That's
I never knew that. I never knew that he
I
did
mean, I
that.
guess as a man, I guess that's not really something that you should be concerned about necessarily,
It
but
is.
I mean, it is. Let me not get that confused. Also, I want to clear up something too. I didn't know that Nicki Minaj's husband killed somebody. I think I made on the last episode. I said something about her. If I don't know what I said, but I want to add insult to injury. Anyway, get back on the topic. that was so left field. But I had made a note to talk about it. We end up not recording, and I don't want nobody who ain't never listened to the show to hear that and be like, "Girl, yeah," you know what I'm saying?
They don't care. Um, so should we save the topic? Because we done recorded for a minute. I don't know if we should
Well,
save it.
no, let's talk about it. We good. I'm up now.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about something that I personally dealt with, but I saw it on the internet from one of my colleagues. Um, so she made a statement. Let me actually go to it. So this could kind of be considered sweets from the streets a little bit, I guess. So she made a tweet that said, I actually deeply hate that standing up for yourself in pretty much any industry gets you blacklisted in some shape or form. This came from my girl Sage Blanco. So she is a fellow makeup artist. I think she just recently moved to Los Angeles too, but she also is a music artist. She makes music. But
She said,
I
"I'm gonna
feel
get it
her.
regardless."
Yeah, I feel her though, because like I've definitely, I mean, even recently, like just me standing up for myself, like as far as demanding my rates, demanding that. I mean, I complain like because this is my livelihood. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When people put out this work, like as a makeup artist, and you doing big publications, I be biting my nails because when I walk in a room, it's always a white photographer. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really worked with any black ones recently, and that sucks because the times that I do work with black photographers, I mean, it be phenomenal. Like the
Yeah.
work comes out good. But the problem that I have with non-black photographers is that they don't know how to light black women. So that's very important because I come in and I ask a lot of questions. I want to know how you're lighting her or lighting my client because I need to know what type of light I need to do her makeup under because I need to make sure that it looks like that in that same light.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. And then also blue Beyonce said it the best. She said blue light just don't look good on black women.
Yeah, she did say that, and you ain't never forget because it's.
Never forget.
yeah,
Because it's so true.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna actually send you something. I gotta go through my email. I'm gonna send you something so you can see an example because I got it from my phone. And this is important too. I always make sure I catch all my work, especially big stuff like that, like music videos. I catch it in 4K on my phone just so you can understand
The
that it
beat
don't
was
look
there.
like that.
Well,
The beat
speaking of
is on.
4K, I did my makeup when I went to the winery, and I ain't have my ring light on. And I was like, "Oh well," but it showed out good in the pictures, and I ain't even use
It
no
did look good
filter.
though. Them pictures was real tea.
I ain't use no filter either. When I put the ring light on after the fact, or that picture I sent you, I was like, "Now, Alicia, you could use another coat of that foundation."
Oh my god.
I was relying on the concealer and the translucent powder to really, but I ain't.
Together.
Next, next time I have to turn that ring light. I normally leave it on first, but I was in a rush. But thank you. My photographer be getting them angles.
But make sure you use warm light. If you got a warm setting on there, use that.
I use it on the brightest.
I mean, whatever works.
It
But
works.
it just makes a difference. And then, like, it's like when you open your mouth to say something, people deem that as being problematic and then they don't want to work with you. Am I
Yeah.
problematic or am I just trying to make sure that the quality of my stuff is just good?
Yeah.
Problematic or am I just trying to make sure that I get paid the rate that I need to get paid and getting paid on time? That's not being problematic. And I hate that because I sit here and I watch white people be and even Hispanics sometimes, like in my industry. Now I don't know how any other fields work, but when it comes to the hair and makeup industry, they put white and Hispanic artists above black artists, and it's so fucking
That's
annoying.
so crazy.
It's so
Just by
annoying.
default, not even based on talent.
Yeah, like even still, and it's so crazy because like they do that, and so when it comes down to paying rates, they'll pay them whatever they say. They're gonna stand firm in
Mm,
that shit.
mm,
Let me
mm,
come out of my mouth and say that, oh, I charge this, and it'll be the exact same rate that they charge. I'm like, I'm not
mm,
paying.
mm,
I know
mm.
so and so around the corner, around the block, gonna do this beat for half that or a quarter of what you're charging. And why is that? Like, I feel like I put in enough work to charge what I charge. I've been
Exactly.
I've been learning my skill for over 12 years at this point, and it's like I've done so much stuff. I fucked up. I mean, I fucked up on TV, like on major stuff, but it was to the point where I can go back, I can look and correct my stuff, and that's why I'm so hard on like what's lighting are we using? What
Right.
are
You
we?
learn from it, just like I'm sure the rest of them had to do.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating that we just once you do that, you seems problematic. Like I got pretty much fired from a job from a record label because I stood up for trying to not dim the light of a girl who was dark skinned, who was in
Mm, mm,
presence
mm.
of somebody of other artists who were way lighter than her. It's like I want her to look good. Like I want her
Yeah.
to look like
As it should, this is a collaborative effort.
yeah. So I don't want, and it was me standing up like, I don't appreciate you trying to like wash her out to kind of fade in the crowd when that's not even what she gives. It's not fair.
Yeah.
So it's.
I will say I have not had a lot of experience with that happening to me. I think that something I've learned over the years is to just, I don't know. I don't know if I've had to, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I've had a lot of situations where I've had to stand up for myself in like a professional way. I have with friends and relationships, but when it comes to that, I blacklist them out my life. But when it
Yeah.
comes to work stuff, I definitely have people, and maybe this could be because I've just tried to choose my battles, which is not appropriate or fair. But I think that there might have been times where I have wanted certain accommodations, maybe more money or some help, and I would just be like, never mind, let me just do it myself. So maybe that's something that I need to work on for myself. But I've also had opportunities where or times where I have had to request something and I would just use my personality to get it, like be comical, and that probably can come off as a little passive, but it's just a communication style that has worked for me. And I think that's also me trying to like light soften the blow, really protecting the other person, not myself. And
Yeah.
that's probably not the best way to communicate. It don't always work, but I know what you mean. I was just thinking recently because one of the things I've learned a lot, especially about serious relationships, is communication is the success factor. Like that, without communication, there's nothing. And I don't mean complaining because you wanted butter on your popcorn. Like truly having real in-depth conversations and having and good communication requires people to be uncomfortable, to remove their ego, and to be open-minded. And I think the problem is when people speak up for themselves, other people don't know how to take it, and so they take it as you being aggressive or you being rude, or they don't know how to respond to it because they might actually be in the wrong. So the way they handle that is removing you from the scenario, when in reality, just take this feedback, express your view as well, and it does not have to be drama, it doesn't have to be problematic. And I think a lot of people lack that. A lot of people prefer and even though they might have took what you said, like let's say it's a lighting situation, they probably gonna think about it the next time they have a shoot. But instead of addressing that in the moment and being prideful and being too good to kind of handle that as feedback, they want to just get rid of you because how dare you correct me about something.
Yeah.
And that's all
It's
I have to say about that. And I'm just kidding. But I think that's what a lot of people really are not good communicators. And being a good communicator means receiving communication. And people just don't. People get super offended. They think that you're trying to be controversial, even if your tone does not reflect that. And I think that they get offended. And so they're just like, F you, because this is my show. And it's like, but somebody else is gonna say the same thing.
and I make sure I pay attention to that because I feel like one thing that really bothers me is the tone
Yeah.
that people say things sometimes, and I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't mean no harm, it's like the tone of what you say that sets the mood for where this is gonna go from here. So I always watch my tone. I just hate the fact that when people are in charge or they like have a higher position than you, they take it to the point of like whatever I'm saying, it just has to go that way. And in certain situations, yeah. But I really do feel like since I work a lot in the music industry and I'm an artist, I feel like we have people who are in those positions, and unfortunately that's just it runs there. So if you do something that they don't like, they can fire you for that, or they
That
can
is
just
so
move you
crazy.
out the way. Like they don't even have to be right.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
then when people have a higher position, they can pretty much say whatever and people gonna go for it. I saw it, and this is not related at all, but I think the attitude is the same. I saw a post on the Shade Room today, or maybe it was Neighborhood Talk, where Portia Williams said that she had an encounter with R. Kelly when she was like some a while back when she was trying to enhance her music career. People in the comments calling her a liar, saying that she just want attention. And it's like, that's not necessarily the same thing you're talking about, but I'm just saying people could be dismissing something that she's trying to obviously express concern about or share her story. And now they could be like, oh, I don't want to, she be lying. Remember she had said what she said about R. Kelly?
That's probably the main reason why she kept it in that
Yeah,
long.
because it's like people ain't gonna believe me because I'm this girl that presents themselves this way. I got these other situations, but I feel like that's so trifling. I hear a lot about, like, I've seen a lot of celebrities say that they were black. I mean, even like what happened with Monique. People might not want to believe she was blacklisted because she was as iconic or is as iconic as she is, or as popular or been around for so long. But people who are not in that environment won't be able to relate to it. So it's easy to dismiss it as like her lying or being dramatic. But people who work in those environments, it's just like you try to tell, like I know people who have tried to go to HR about stuff that's happened. Now let's be clear, HR works for the company and not for you. Okay. You are the capital, but they'll be like, oh, take the high road, or why don't you do this? It's like, no, I'm raising a concern to you. And I need number one, I need document. Number two, I need a solution. But when they say things like take the high road or try to get you to see the other side, it's like you really are dismissing the experience that I had. And now I
Yeah.
don't even want to talk to you no more.
And that's lame. Like, I don't know. I just hate having to feel like that, especially in doing something that you love to do. This is the reason why I dismiss a lot of clients. I don't want people to make me feel less than by like trying to diminish what my pricing should be and what it shouldn't be. Because obviously, let's start here. You like my work because otherwise you would never approach me.
Exactly.
Whether you think it's decent or whatever, you clearly like what I do, so you came to me for that. You want me to do something for you. Now,
Exactly.
in response to that, if you want me to be there to do my job a certain way, this amount of hours, complete the task, pay attention, all this other stuff. This is how much it's gonna cost. Because yeah, you go around the corner and get that done, but people aren't gonna be as skilled.
And it's
And
just not fair to say. I mean, it's one thing if you just don't have the budget or you don't want to pay that, but don't be telling me about what you can get somewhere else.
yeah, that's
That's
weird.
the price.
Now if they say something like, I really do appreciate that. I love your work. It's just I don't really have that in my budget. Sometimes I'll be like, what is your budget? Maybe we can work something out.
Yeah, I understand. And
You
that's
just
fair.
never.
That is a good way to communicate your needs and your desires. So being weird, telling me what you could have did. Now I don't want to work with you. So it's like,
Yeah,
what's your point? Now, what do you think about that when it comes to friendships? Because I know earlier I said that normally if I do that, I'm the one blacklisting, but and this is why I say that. I have had to check friends about stuff that is disrespectful. And to me, disrespectful is zero tolerance. I don't play that. I don't care. I don't care. I'm finna tell you about yourself and you can never reach out to me again. And now that might be poor communication, but I also think that I am that communication should be first nature, second nature, and
okay.
also common sense when it comes to disrespect. I just can't imagine like somebody disrespecting me and then we working through it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like the tolerance for that should be different based on a relationship? Like if it's a
yeah,
friendship or whatever the case is?
yeah. I always bring stuff back to how people were raised.
Yeah.
So for me, I definitely have like these situations, reoccurring situations with my friends sometimes. So if it's something where I feel like it's just like you're really disregarding what I'm saying to you, and it's something that I was expressed to you that really bothers me, then a conversation is gonna be had. But if you just keep repeatedly doing that, now I feel like you're not listening to me, and you don't respect me, and so now we gotta part ways.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like that has happened to me recently because I'm not really a difficult person to deal with, in my opinion. I'm not. I have like little things that just bother me. But I mean, that's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I live by myself for a reason. I'm not a morning
Same.
person. I don't like to talk to people in the morning time. I like to get my thoughts together because that's just who I am. I have to do things one at a time because I can't multitask like that. So I have to set aside time. Okay, I need to do this first. I need to do this first. And I need to do this. And I'm working on that because I'm like, I can't just be slow about everything, but that's just what works for me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I wake up in the morning and I know that I have to map out my day in my head, and I'm doing that. Or even if I want to just get some extra sleep, I'm just gonna give me some food. I can do that. I'm grown.
Yeah.
This is
It's your show.
I can do this. So I don't. I had a situation recently where like my friend wakes up early, and I wake up early every day, but sometimes I'll just go back to sleep a few hours later, and they don't
You
respect
know
the
you ain't
fact
got
that
no
I'm.
dog. No, just
Yeah,
playing.
they don't respect the fact that I'm not a morning person, and they be want to talk first thing in the morning, and I'm like, listen,
You used to call my house real early in the morning when we was younger. What changed?
yeah, I'm
And
grown.
my mama didn't like that. She set boundaries, and you still broke them.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid,
Oh. So now it's about how you was raised. No, I'll just play it.
but but
I
now I know. But she just don't respect that, and like she's making it a big deal. Like when we've talked on the phone, see me sometimes when I don't feel like arguing, or if I'm not in the mood, I'll do it, and then I'll just go on by my day. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But I shouldn't have to do that because if I explain to you that this is something that bothers me, and I'm expressing it to you in a genuine way, I'm not yelling at you. I'm literally just talking to you about it,
Mhm.
and you still disregarding it because you don't think that that's right, or you don't think that that's what friends should do, and that I have these unrealistic rules about friendship, which is dumb. Like, how is that
They
unrealistic?
just they just they
Just
just feel away. They don't know how else to respond to you setting boundaries. That's really what it boils
maybe
down to.
that same phone gonna ring at 12. Call at 12. Like, we don't have to talk at 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't have nothing to talk about when I wake up.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm
dang, you don't
there
have
my
a job.
age. You know,
I also think a lot of times it depends on what that disrespect was. I think for me, a lot of if something makes me uncomfortable, I'll speak on it. But when it comes to me just like cutting people out, it's the when people try to take advantage or they try to, get more out of the situation than they can. Like they'll try to finesse some money or they'll lie or they'll just, how people are. It's some people they just really don't. They really ruin great friendships because they want to be greedy. And I think for me, that's some
yeah.
stuff you can't be giving chances to. And that to me, that's common sense. And if ain't nothing in life ever taught you not to be shysty, then you ain't meant to be my friend anyway. So,
Honestly, I wish I could be like that.
well,
It ain't in me.
you can be. Just set boundaries and respect them
I
for
mean, no,
yourself.
I definitely feel like I can set boundaries. I'm just saying, like, I can just be like as stern as I think I'll be thinking about just like different scenarios with or like I said, I'll say how people were raised, and I'm like, maybe they genuinely don't know. Maybe they don't
Well,
know how to do
I
this.
always assume I ain't the first person you ever disrespected, so I'm definitely gonna be the last. So bye bye. I don't have time. I just don't have time. And I never felt like I have a lot of friends and I never felt like, oh no, I'm short this friend. I've had a really close friend.
Oh yeah, no. I don't do that, but I never feel like that. I don't need you here.
Yeah, period.
I just don't be wanting to feel like I'm just like not being like, I guess, empathetic or sympathetic to other people's thoughts and feelings. Like I'll be like, you know
Well,
what? Maybe they
holla at
genuinely
me when you get your
don't
life together then.
know.
I
That's
never lost a friend I needed.
oh my god.
No, I get it, but I am pretty cutthroat when it comes to that. But I don't care. I never regretted it. So why are you trying to expose
Sorry.
me?
Some boy, oops. Somebody was texting me talking about you taking a long ass nap.
Ooh. And you just took a picture of me with my flexi rise in.
Well, I gotta take note. I just erased it by mistake.
Also, y'all, this is a sidebar. I want to shout out press on nails. Never going to the salon again. Okay. So, first of all, I have tried press on nails in the past. But my issue is they never last. They will always pop off less than 24 hours. But clearly, literally the whole time, the problem is that I was not buffing my nails. My nails were too oily, too shiny. And so,
When you
obviously,
say
it would.
buff, is that just fouling it?
Like making it rough, like using the gritty part of the nail file. Yeah, basically making it look rough, making it dry, and then wiping it off. Because the if my nails are oily, I'm expecting glue and plastic to adhere to it. But when it's dry, it has something to hold on to. I put these nails on Saturday, just like my hair, and it's Wednesday, and my nails is still holding on, just like my hair. Never had press-ons last as long, costing me $7.99. Never going to the salon again, only to get pedicures.
Yeah.
Cause I
I
can't do that.
think
I ain't got
that's
no
the
cheese
problem that I'm
grater.
having now. So the last time I went to the nail salon to get a manicure, the lady, she did a really good job, but she spent so much time on my hands. And what she did was she instead of filing my nails, she literally drilled my
I hate
nails.
when they do that. They did that on my pedicure. I'm like, bro, my nails is thinner than a piece of paper. If you get to the white meat, I'm gonna have to kick you.
Yeah, and like now the gel, she did that, and the gel is still on there, but I have to literally let my nails grow the gel off because now that they're growing, anytime I pick something up, my nails crumble. Like they just
Oh my god. I actually am growing out my gel pedicure now too.
because I'm like, girl, now I gotta wait for a
I
whole.
don't like that. I ain't getting gel on on my toes no more though. It's too sensitive down there. I've seen people get acrylic down there. I think that's really chaotic because your nail is very, very, very thin. And then how you gonna wear your shoes when it start growing?
No, I can only imagine how they hurt. My friend
Gotta
get
wear open toes in the snow because your
and then
nail
it be
don't grow.
blocked off. Like it'd be
Oh
like,
God. Oh God. Oh God.
yeah, I don't like that either. I don't like how that shit look.
Well, I
But
hope that when you set boundaries to your endeavors in LA, that it is greeted with kindness, warmth, and acceptance and understanding, because nobody deserves to feel like they cannot open their mouths and speak up for themselves. That's one of the few benefits of council culture.
yeah.
People gonna set them boundaries and they gonna do it. But I guess you know what? They might be the blacklisters though. But yeah, so anyway, I hate that. I hope that people mature enough to understand to accept communication. And if somebody does say something that makes them uncomfortable, they should also express that as well in that moment. One thing I learned about working at Apple, as cheesy as it sounds, is to give open sorry, it was basically feedback. So they would give positive feedback, negative feedback in that moment. But the way that they taught us to do it is like, hey, Chris, do you have a question? Do you have a moment for some feedback? And you don't have to say it like that,
Oh,
but
they
that's
did
how.
us like that. That's how we had to do it at Mac.
Yeah, and we would just like gently express the situation, how it made us feel, and what our expectations are going forward. And because they built a culture around that, that's how people did it. Now, everybody didn't give it based off that script, but it made it not abnormal for people to receive feedback. And so I think that that's something that can be tackled, I mean, taken on into personal life, because people just need to know how to communicate with you. And so because Apple set those boundaries or set those preferences, people abided by that. And I mean, I just think that's how it goes in real life. But a lot of people just have a lot of pride, or they're embarrassed, or they don't like being wrong. So they're not going to take what you're saying kindly because they want to be the winner, I guess.
Yeah.
We be preaching. Rest in peace, Dolph.
Yeah.
Preach.
Oh.
I know. All right, y'all. Well, I think this was a good episode, and I don't even have to edit it. I'm about to put it right on out so y'all can get it tonight on Wednesday.
Yeah, Mr. Quanta, this is unedited. This is raw dogging.
Okay. See, now I got to edit. I'm just All right, y'all. See you next week, hopefully.
Period.
Bye.